How big is the energy and data center land opportunity compared to maybe traditional land investing? Obviously, traditional land investing has its place because there's, like I just talked about, quarter acre lots and half acre lots and all that stuff all over. But when you start getting into some of this larger stuff, for years there's been people out there that talk about like just selling off desert squares for recreation. That's all they ever talked about,
Sure.
right? And it's like, so how big is this space now compared to that traditional,
Sure.
I thought?
Yeah, I mean, we've ran some market analysis on this before, and there might be some numbers out there that look at it differently. But we see from traditional land, from a year to year, what transacts of just like you said, a row crop land or pasture land or recreation land is roughly, I think, it's close to 700 billion to a trillion a year. That's a huge number. That's a big number. But compared to the rest of real estate, it's really not substantial. I mean, you have um, commercial real estate, which has come down the last couple of years, but you're up around, I think, closer to 17, 20 trillion a year or something. Somewhere it could be around there. Don't quote me on these numbers, but we look at the energy opportunities since it's now no longer coming from the subsurface, it's now coming from the surface. All of that capital that you used to see and you used to hear about, the oil and gas industry and the energy industry, and it's its own thing. It had nothing to do with real estate. All of that capital then has shifted into renewable energy, and now you can magnify that even more with data centers. Okay, so what we're seeing every time you see a press release about a new meta data center or AWS or anything like that, it's in this conversation. That's where it starts. The opportunity dwarfs what we would traditionally see as the opportunity with land and land investing. And I'm glad you brought that up of because this is a real story. A user probably very, very similar to the folks in this call would have never considered themselves an energy investor. Had a fund, a fairly small fund, $5 to $10 million that he would invest every year to buy and flip property. Right, that's what he did. He got a subscription to LandApp, and he found a section, one of these desert squares, a 640, a square mile. It was in northern New Mexico. He looked it up on LandGate. He saw the opportunity, and he actually found the listing on LandGate because you can find property that are self-listed by landowners there. Landowners can post their stuff for sale if they want. He found something for sale. Genius move. He put it under an option to purchase. It was a 2 or 3 month option to purchase. So he had the property under control. He went ahead and listed the property for lease on the platform on LandGate. He knew nobody in the industry. He knew nothing. He knew nothing more than that property scored really high on the solar value. So he went ahead and put it out there, raised his hand. He got himself into a solar lease. When panels get put on the property, he's going to earn, I think, 2 or 3 times more per acre per year on his lease than what he bought the property for. Be simple, outright. That's because he simply
How
saw a
long?
different opportunity, and then it's probably going to be a 30-year lease. So that's
So
not
he's
a.
making all of his money back in first year, less than a year, and then he's got 29 years of,
And he's got
and it's a
29
lease, so
years
he
of
owns the
capital,
property in 30 years.
and he owns the property when the panels come off in 30 years. So
Yeah.
that's you said it. You said it early, Jonathan. And I hope people get this out of this call is that yes, your business model of finding raw land or property and getting it at a good price and being able to flip it, a lot of that isn't going to change. I'm hoping that people can understand here that there's other ways to monetize the property other than just flipping it. And it could be far more lucrative than flipping it for a 10, 15, 20% increase on your value, right?